Now on Mathematics, we will be discussing an ancient phenomenon which unlocked an unparalleled understanding of beauty in art, the golden ratio.
The golden ratio is also known as the golden mean, golden proportion, golden number, divine proportion, divine section, and golden proportion. It is a special number approximately equal to 1.618. The proportion has always existed in mathematics and in the physical universe. It is known about since the time of the ancient Greeks.
Alessandro di Mariano di Vanni Filippi, born on April 20, 1446, was an Italian painter of the early Renaissance. This is his work with the golden ratio. Created between 1482 and 1485, it is one of Botticelli's most famous pieces of the 15th century Italian art. It is based on Ovid's Metamorphoses, a classic of Latin literature, and portrays Venus, the goddess of love. She is positioned between the aura of spring, her handmaid, and Zephyrus, god of the wind whose breath creates the blowing wind.
Did you know that there were questions whether Botticelli knew and used the golden ratio in the composition of his painting? And if its canvas thickness were 0.5 centimeters, and the dimension of the frame wrapped underneath the four sides of the canvas would have been 171.5 by 277.5, the ratio is 1.618, the golden ratio.
We could also see the horizontal golden ratio lines from the top to the bottom, crosses exactly at the top of the seashell. The line from the bottom to the top crosses at the horizon line, most perfectly on the left side of the painting, and directly through the navel of Venus. The vertical golden ratio lines from the left side to the right side falls exactly at the point at which Aura's thumb and finger are touching, and the line from the right side to the left side falls at point where the land on the horizon meets the sea. Lastly, the navel of Venus is also at the golden ratio point of her body. This red line shows the golden ratio from the top of her hair to the bottom of her lower foot. This green line shows the golden ratio from her hairline at the top of her forehead to the bottom of her upper foot. And this blue line shows the golden ratio of her height from the middle of the feet to the top of her head at the back part in her hair.
Leonardo di Ser Piero da Vinci, born on April 15, 1452, has been variously called the father of paleontology, ichnology, and architecture. He is considered one of the greatest painters of all time. Here are 3 of his paintings with the golden ratio. An Old Man. Created in 1490, Da Vinci explored the human body involving in the ratios of the length of various body parts. He called this ratio the divine proportion and featured it in many of his paintings. His drawing of an old man can be overlaid with a square subdivided into rectangles, some of which approximate golden rectangles. The Last Supper. One of the world's most famous paintings is Da Vinci's late 15th century mural painting in the refectory of the convent of Santa Maria del Grazie, Milan. It is also one of the most studied, scrutinized, and satirized paintings of all time. Various design and architectural features show very clear golden ratios. Clear divine proportions in the Last Supper are the width of the shield to the enclosing area, the markings on the shield to its width, the dimensions of the small shield to the width of its enclosure, the center of the table is a golden ratio to its size, and from tabletop to the ceiling. Jesus is at the midpoint and the top of the windows is at the golden ratio. Mona Lisa. Created in 1503 to 1517, this half-length portrait of a woman includes lots of golden rectangles. Here, we can draw a rectangle whose base extends from the woman's right wrist to her left elbow and extend the rectangle vertically until it reaches the very top of her head. That is the golden rectangle.
Michelangelo di Lodovico Buonarroti Simoni, born on March 6, 1475, was an Italian sculptor, painter, architect, poet, and engineer of the High Renaissance who exerted an unparalleled influence on the development of Western art. He has been held as one of the greatest artists of all time. Here are two of his paintings with the golden ring. The Holy Family. It was created in 1506. Here, Michelangelo uses the pentagram to outline the composition of the three main figures in this highly original circular painting. The Creation of Adam. Painted between 1511 and 1512, The Creation of Adam is a fresco painting which forms part of the Sistine Chapel ceiling. We could see that the finger of God touches the finger of Adam precisely at the golden ratio point of the width and height of the area that contains them both. Georges Pierre Seurat, born on December 2, 1859, was a French post-impressionist painter and draftsman. He is noted for his innovative use of growing media and for devising the painting techniques known as chromoluminarism and pointillism. Here are two of Seurat's paintings with the golden ratio. Bathers at Anier. Made in 1884, this is the first of Seurat's two masterpieces on the monumental scale. Notice the distance between the boy with a straw hat on the left side of the frame, the boy sitting on the edge of the river bank, and the boy standing in the river with his hands cupped to his mouth. At first glance, there does not seem to be any geometrical configuration at all, but upon closer examination, one sees that their golden ratio is represented in these distances. The boys themselves are also depicted in accordance with the ratio when examined individually. Parade de Circo. Circus show in English. It was created between 1887 and 1888.
Did you know that Seurat worked on the theme for nearly 6 years before completing the final painting?
Parade de Cirque contains numerous examples of golden proportion. It has a 4:6 ratio division and golden mean overlay, showing only a close approximation to the divine proportion.
Salvador Domingo Felipe Jacinto Dali y Dominic, born on May 11, 1904, was a prominent Spanish surrealist painter. Dali was a skilled draftsman, best known for the striking and bizarre images in his surrealist work. In the Sacrament of the Last Supper, Dali framed his painting in a golden rectangle. Following Da Vinci's lead, he positioned the table exactly at the golden section of the height of his painting. He positioned two disciples at Christ's side at the golden sections of the width of the composition. In addition, the windows in the background are formed by a large dodecahedron. Sir Edward Colley Burne-Jones, born on August 28, 1833, was a British artist and design closely involved in the rejuvenation of the tradition of stained glass art in Britain. Here is his work with the golden ratio. The Golden Stairs. Created in 1876 to 1880, Jones meticulously planned the smallest of details in the painting using the golden section. The golden sections are the stairs and the ring of the trumpet carried by the fourth woman on top. The lengths of the gowns from the sash below their breast to the bottom hem hits the thigh point at their knees, and the width of the interior door at the back of the top of the stairs is a golden section of the width of the top of the opening of the skylight. Open the door to a deeper understanding of beauty and its spirituality in life. This golden ratio truly is unique in its mathematical properties and pervasive in its appearance throughout nature.
All these paintings are surely beautiful. After learning about the golden ratio, we realize that it is actually a door to understanding life. And that's all for now, mathematicians. We hope you learned a lot today.
And we hope that you shared this knowledge.
Good day and happy learning. This is Zarah
and Earl saying goodbye.